We got the media team in here. We're the media
team. We got content. TV's in the go. We got TV in the go, Wack.
You looking for that fire Clubhouse content? Well, you need to subscribe to the home. Hey, yo, Clubhouse TV. Let's get to the content.
That's a good.
So Wack 100 goes to the bail hearing of Keefe D and gets pressed by the judge. Say it ain't so. The money's legit, sir. Let's get to the content.
This is on for a source hearing regarding the bail. Just one quick thought. Mr. Arnold, I know you weren't here at the time of the bail setting. And so ultimately the reason I sat this, the purpose of the source hearing was because of the peculiar procedural history of this case and the facts here, was really to ensure that the bond is not posted with proceeds from talking about the murder or killing of Mr. Shakur. And so that's sort of been the focus of this source hearing, as well as obviously, legitimate funds. And so I did get the materials that you sent here.
Okay.
So how do you want to proceed with the source hearing and knowing that?
Your Honor, I believe that we have Mr. Jones. He's prepared to testify, answer any questions that the state may have. I submitted to them the same packet that you have, Your Honor, and they expressed to me they want to make sure under oath that he's not going to benefit from the proceeds in any manner. I don't believe there are any other financial questions. If there is, they won't brought to my attention.
So yes, Your Honor, the state would like to question Mr. Jones.
So I'll then have him placed under oath. I'll let Mr. Arnold ask him a few introductory questions or whatever questions he wants to get at. I'll allow you to have cross-examination, and I may have some questions as well.
All right, and yes, this is my fit.
Okay, Mr. Arnold, do we have Mr. Jones? I think Cash Jones, I see him on. Sir, if you could unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm not muted. Just gonna let me come off camera.
Okay, do you have a camera that you can turn on at this point, or it's not Lamara?
What it says the host says, you cannot start the video because the host has stopped it.
Okay, let's see if we can get that fixed. Thank you, sir. Mr. Arnold, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It was 15% of whatever the 750 was.
Okay.
$112,000 and some odd dollars.
$500, is that correct?
112.5, yes sir, yes sir.
And you paid that out of your business?
Yes sir.
And what's your business name, sir?
100 Entertainment.
And you're the sole owner of that business, is that correct?
Yes sir.
And that business is a business license to do business in the state of Nevada?
Yes sir.
And how long have you had that business?
Roughly 8 years maybe.
And again, you used the proceeds from that business and you provided us with the documents showing that those amounts were taken from your business account. Is that correct?
Yes sir.
How do you know Mr. Davis, sir?
I know him through passing. I know his son. I know him. We sat down and talked a few times in general, about personal things. He was having this bout with cancer, and personal things, industry stuff, just regular conversation. He's always been a monumental guy in our community, conversation. So, and I've helped several people in our community, whether it was funerals, whether it was for bail. In this situation, I know his cancer has been, I don't know if it's come out of remission or been speaking with his son. I know he's having an issue in there, so I'll let that help in hand.
We appreciate that, sir. Sir, are you deriving any benefit financially from Mr. Davis's release?
I know that.
I have no further questions, John.
State cross-examination.
Yes, you need to stand at the podium because of the Eugene's aspect, or
Sir, you're in the entertainment business, is that right?
That's one of my businesses, yes.
And you also go by the moniker Wack 100.
Yes, I do.
And one of the things that you do is manage, some artists like The Game and Blueface, etc.
Yes.
And where do you live?
I have a residence in California. I have multiple residences in California, Oklahoma, as well as New Jersey and New York.
Okay. And is it fair to say that the last 4 digits of your phone number are 697?
6979.
Okay. All right. I want to turn your attention. We were provided a letter by Mr. Arnold that said that you had known Mr. Davis and his family for many years. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, they're a pillar of our community, especially the urban community.
Well, I think let me clarify. You said, I have been a good friend of Mr. Davis and his family for many years. Is that right?
I know his sister. I know him. I know his son.
When did you first meet Mr. Davis?
Oh. In passing, maybe about, 8 years ago, maybe.
When did you become good friends with Mr. Davis?
Been friends with a lot of people.
I'm sorry, when did you become good friends with Mr. Davis?
The day I met him, the day we shook hands. We come from our upbringing, we come from the opposite sides of the track. So, in my travels over the last 25 years, coming from the gang life and making my exit from being a gang banger, anybody that I meet that's willing to sit down with me and be cordial and be respectful, I'm going to consider a good friend.
All right, and so the other thing you say in the letter that Mr. Arnold provided to us is that the money is a gift and Mr. Davis is not obligated to repay. Is that right?
That's right.
All right. Do you have any contract between you and Mr. Davis?
No, not as of yet.
Okay. Do you have any financial agreement with Mr. Davis?
Not as of yet.
Do you have any financial agreement with his son?
No, I don't. I allowed him to come work for me. That's what he wanted to do, to try to get him out the streets.
Now, so are there any stipulations that you have with Mr. Davis in order to put up this money for?
Well, my stipulation with the bail bond, but I definitely wanted him to be on house arrest to protect myself.
Now, have you ever said you were thinking about getting Mr. Davis out with the stipulation that you do a series with him?
We've had talks and conversations just about what would be a series, as a the BMF series, and just in question, in general conversation, talking about his life story. But I'm not in TV land, I'm in music. I don't do TV.
Okay.
I've never done a television show or any of that. I do music streaming, diapers, stuff like that.
Okay, so I just want to be very clear about this. Have you ever stated that you planned on getting Mr. Davis out as long as he did a stipulation with you to do a television series with you?
Oh, I have said this story would be a very interesting story. As if Orlando Anderson's story would be a very interesting story. As if the BMF story, as if my story. We talk about it, everybody talks about it, but again, that's not my lane. If that's what he chooses to do, then that's what he chooses to do. That's not what I do. And
you had mentioned earlier, you had agreed with me earlier that the last 4 digits of your phone number were 6979, correct?
6979, yes.
And you've had at least one conversation with Mr. Davis via jail calls, is that correct?
One call, yes. I spoke with him one time.
And as part of that time, you asked Mr. Davis whether or not he had signed the contract, is that right?
Yes, I did.
What contract was
that? His life rights contract. Somebody told me he had did a life rights deal, and I was asking them why didn't they come assist him.
And so you didn't ask him to send you his waiver of his life rights to you, have you?
No, I mean, mean, at the end of the day, again, that's not my lane. That's not what I do. I do music.
And I'm gonna have to play some exhibits later, Your Honor. But in terms of if someone were to say that this money put up is not entirely for you, would that be the truth or a lie?
Say it again.
If someone were to say that the money provided here to bail Mr. Davis out is not from you, would that be the truth or a lie?
Be a lie.
Okay.
You
If
said
someone,
I didn't send the money. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
You're saying I'm not the one providing the funds?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a lie.
If someone said you are being used as a front, would that be the truth or a lie?
That would be a lie.
If someone says you are a middleman in this transaction, would that be a truth or a lie?
That would be a lie.
If somebody said that there's a movie company putting up the money for you, would that be the truth or a lie?
What company?
A movie company.
No, that would be a lie.
Okay. So your testimony is you're not a middleman.
I'm not a what?
A middleman.
No, I have no contracts for any movie companies. I've never had a contract with a movie company. I've never done television. It's not my thing. I'm actually moving out of entertainment into the diaper business. I have a company called Akademiks Diapers. I have contracts in Congo, Nigeria, Amazon, Walmart, and Kroger. So I'm really moving away from entertainment. These are things I can provide documents, MOUs, contracts for.
No, and I appreciate that, Mr. Jones. Your Honor, I think I'm going to have, I don't know how mechanically we want to do this. I have a video featuring Mr. Jones talking about the stipulations that he would require. Yes. And then I also have a couple of jail calls talking about signing a contract with Mr.
You just play them, and then they will play both from your computer, and they will play through the speakers.
I think for this witness in particular, right?
I work for GLAD. I'm contracted to go to GLAD. I go there like every 2-3 months.
In fact, you did one about a month ago, is that right?
1 or 2 ago, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and I think Mr.
About
Arnold,
2-3 months ago.
I think Mr. Arnold will stipulate that the person depicted as Wack 100 is Mr. Jones.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I think to be a foundation for the GLAD interview for 21, you may play it.
His lawyer did an interview recently and said, Keefe D is a liar. He made up all this stuff just to make some money for people like, me, for interviews, and to get out of a serious drug case. He was never in Las Vegas. All this is fake, and he's not connected to Tupac's murder at all. Yeah, I believe him. You believe him? Do I believe him? That's up to law enforcement. That's I'm not gonna say. That's up to law enforcement. Be home in the next 5 to 10 about going back now. You gonna bail out Keefe D? Yeah, it's only 75. Well, because if they are, I make 750. 750, so you got to put 35. Yeah, I've been thinking about going to get him and put the stipulations that I do the series on it. People watching. Yeah.
Mr. Jones, did you hear that interview?
That's the interview.
Yeah, and it's fair to say that.
Do you understand, Brian?
Wait, sir. You can answer my questions. I'm sure Mr. Arnold has questions for you. You can answer them. So it's fair to say that you said you would bail Mr. Davis out as long as he follows some stipulations, correct?
Well, it's just entertainment with GLAD.
Sir, my question requires, sir, my question simply requires a yes or no answer. Did you say that you would bail out Mr. Davis, assuming he follows some stipulations?
We're glad, me and Black discussed that.
Okay,
We gonna say that. We discussed what we're gonna do before we interview. Everybody knows that about Black.
And in fact, you said that you would bail him out in return for an agreement to do a series on Mr. Davis's life, correct?
That's what I said to Vlad, but Keefe D is already involved with somebody. With that, I believe, with his book. I have no contracts with him, no dealings with him on that.
Okay, so you're saying what you said on, it's just not true.
We have, before you go on live, you have a discussion about what you're gonna talk about, what needs to be said, so we can drive the views. Nothing about Vlad or nothing about YouTube that says that we're being truthful about what we're saying, we're entertaining. I'm just, being truthful, which I do a lot of interviews. I do interviews every week on No Jumper, and we sit there and we BS about things, and we exaggerate things, or we make up things. It's a view thing. They pay you for that.
Okay, so you are exaggerating or not telling the truth when you're on Vlad TV.
I mean, you see, the number I gave wasn't accurate. If I was gonna, that's what the conversation was, I would have gave you the accurate number if that's what it was.
All right, Your Honor, at this point, I would like to publish a jail call between Mr. Davis and Mr. Jones. We agreed your last four are 697, correct?
Don't know.
Call between Mr. Davis and Mr. Jones.
What up, man? Yeah, I'm very well. I'm gonna get through. I've been on this before, yeah. With the COVID, I should have told you guys can't get on it. Stop playing. Yeah, I've been doing all my due diligence. I've been checking things up. Get my food, once you come home, string the things out. You know what I'm saying? And that gives us time to set up. Because my family is fucking the movie shit takes long to get to that later. That's the serious. You know what I'm saying? We got like 30, 40, we got like at least 30, 40 different episodes, like we supposed to see. Let's start with as a new, the 15 years, show, the garage, TV. No, it's cool. We can start to spend it. I'm telling you what my idea is, right? And, we can get these first 10 episodes done. We got like 2 or 3 folks that like, get out doing that. Because they take that, and when you got time, things, so we can make sure we hold it. You gotta remember, this shit that sets you up for the rest of your life. People have to really do. It's a life you get this got you out the whole world forever. So, let me tie in to these big wigs while they got pumped up and amped up and to attach the right names to it. And then at the end of the day, you got the book. The book is pretty much our guide. You turn that into script, TV script form, and let us run out the back up. I'm gonna just start the first 10, get that first 10 done. By the time the season starts, once we do that, or around that, we good. Say it again. Yeah, but now this ain't about no views. This is about, so we don't do the same number 15 years being arrested as how. Yeah, it's fuck us. You because, yeah, I know that. Because you got that ED story, you got Lady Lane story, your story, Summer Day, Jeff shit. You got all kinds of shit up in there. So we got these 40 episodes. I'm doing my consistency. It's done the thing when people want to check things again. So I had to reach out in it and call my people. They read it, they called it in. If they did, I submitted your wife's address because I guess 58 said they want a house arrest, which is like they get two places the same way. So and they got to register the address. Yeah, they got to register the address. So I said that over there. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm just waiting on enough for it. Yeah, I know that, man. They gonna ask how many times with one on that is supposed to be getting out. That's all I know. You said I can't be your own owner to you. 60 years old, everything's different. That shit ain't what it was. Yeah. I know what it is, but a home company doesn't want to come get it. And every day, not just progress, every day you should be doing something that moves us closer to this mountain. No, we just got this. Let's get you out and then sit down and talk about all that. Maybe sometimes these ones put it up. They tell me this last week, and I look crazy to the people. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? All right, so what did you sign to this? You sign? Okay, start getting going. All right, well, come to me.
So, Your Honor, I understand Mr. Davis is part of that conversation, as part of the hearing, so I can provide a copy to the court. The court wants to hear, but particularly the last end, they're talking about whether or not Mr. Davis has signed the contract, and Mr. Davis confirms that he has signed the contract.
I'm gonna also be happy to provide the gist of all of your things to the. Yes, sir.
Sign the contract before you even, raided my house, all that stuff.
Right now.
Okay.
State has another exhibit to play,
Are there any questions you want to ask?
but nothing for, Mr.
Okay, anything further for Mr. Jones?
No.
Mr. Arnold, any questions you want to ask Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Jones, do you remember the conversation that you had with, Mr. Davis by telephone?
Yes, I do.
And can you tell us in regards to the conversation, generally, what were you all discussing?
Well, the father was having a troubling time getting a hold of the wife. And unless they had a home he can go to for house arrest, they wasn't moving. I also had discussed with DVD that in fact he'll get read his book, right? And that upon him coming home, if he comes home, we can go over his book and some things that could be done to do little things. At the time, everybody has to realize is that I wasn't given any instructions on, I couldn't have an open conversation with him. Open conversation is open conversation. Something that hasn't been done is something that hasn't been done.
Okay. And in that jail phone call, it talks about something about a contract. Did you and Keefe D have any contract?
What it was Keefe D had a vehicle, a very low vehicle, that I was trying to get to, and it's on the East Coast. There was some titling problems. I found the owner of the vehicle. That guy told me what I needed to do if I wanted to obtain this vehicle. So our conversation is all over the place in there. At the end of the day, I don't do television. Is it something that I may look into one day? Possibly. I have artists that have a history. But as of today, right now, as we sit, I have no contract with him. I have no television deal with any network. I'm a business guy. So, of course, it was a thought. But a thought versus being with the legitimate business is two different things.
Do you have anything in writing that states that you will derive any benefit from Keefe D's release and his story?
No, I don't.
It sounds like eventually you and Keefe D may sit down and have a conversation. Was that the intent of that discussion?
That's exactly what it is. I can plant a seed. I planted seeds. It took 10 years to grow. But positioning yourself for the near future, that's how I conduct my business. What it is today, there's no business today.
Right. And then in regards to the conversation that you had with Vlad, who's Vlad?
Vlad is a podcast guy. He's a blogger. Bloggers. I blog every week. I blog every Thursday on Little Jumper. And it's a shame that the world takes what we blog about as if it's real. Like it's things that about me on the internet, down to fights that's not me fighting, and they say it's me. So, at the end of the day, it's astounding to me that I'm allowed to be admitted in court when it's just that. It's just entertainment.
Well, I think
playing a role.
I think the purpose of them introducing it into evidence was that the statement in regards to stipulations, if he was to receive 75,000, which was not the bail amount, what were those stipulations? Prior to your interview with Vlad, did you have any stipulations that you had entered into with Mr. Davis?
I hadn't even talked to Mr. Davis. So again, it was just a blog and interview that I had. I hadn't spoken to him since he had been arrested. So it was just me talking. He asked a question, I built on the question. When you gotta sit there 2-3 hours, you stretch a conversation, you say whatever you gotta do to keep the back and forth going on. That's what it is, no more, no less. And at the end of the day, maybe these people should start telling us you're under oath of everything you're about to say, because before we go in the room, they say, hey, let's go in here for the show. And that's what we do.
One last question. I believe it was in the Vlad interview, and additionally, you may mention it today. Did you become aware of Mr. Davis signing some life rights away in regards to his story?
Individuals told me this. I don't know if it's true or not. Somebody had told me, I guess, where he did the book with. I believe the book's been published for, I don't know, 3 to 5 years. I couldn't tell you. I had anything to do with it, but they had told me maybe whoever had something to do with the book had something to do with it. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it.
So you haven't seen any documentation in regards to Mr. Davis signing his life rights away, but you were made aware of that prior to going ahead and giving up this bail money. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And again, you're giving up this bail money in a hope that maybe you can have a sit-down conversation with him and discuss a series or something like this.
When it's all said and done, because the outcome of the situation is really what's going to dictate. You know what I mean? I believe Mr. Davis is innocent, but if the outcome of the situation shows something any different, and then he's confined, and he is guilty of what they say he's guilty of, then it changes the whole scenario. But if the man is innocent, then why not? And at that point in time, there's no stipulations on it.
So when you say the outcome of the situation, if you had any deal with Mr. Davis, this would be a deal that would be done after the completion of the trial.
But it would have to be. It couldn't go no other way. Couldn't go any other way, because if he's guilty, then it's like he's going to be looked upon a certain way. If he's innocent, as I think he is, as I know him to be, understanding the case, and he'll be looked at a total different way. And then, yeah, he deserves the right to have somebody to will do some business with him.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you for listening. Mr. Chubb, I'm just really confused. What is this contract for? Obviously, there's a contract that you guys are talking about. Obviously, there's a contract based not only on your Vlad interview, but based on the jail call. So what is the contract for?
What contract are you referring to?
The contract that you're talking about.
2 or 3 months ago, I hadn't even spoken to Mr. Davis.
Okay, so what is the contract that you and Mr. Davis are talking about? What's it for?
The possibility of, upon his completion of trial, right? And yeah, we could talk about doing some television or doing something like that, but as of right now, there's no business, there's no nothing. Hopefully, I don't know him to be guilty. I'm innocent. I don't know him to be guilty. I mean, the people that we know that committed this crime are no longer with us. I come from that. So, at the end of the day, I just think he has a better shot of presenting himself, walking to the courtroom in a suit and tie and being healthy. The man has cancer, 60 years old, cancer. And, I know this to be true. So, that's just really my disposition. If he was come out innocent, like everybody else that has came out innocent and did something after the fact, so be it. At that point in time, he's not under any stipulations. nor would I be. But at this present time, you know, I guess you could say, you know, maybe I got faith in this thing. I got faith in the man. You know, I've been in these courtrooms before, bailing out other people. It's not the first time I posted bail, but somebody out in Nevada court or a California court.
All right. Nothing further. State, did you, or Mr. Arnold, is there anything else you wanted to present?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, you can, if you want, you can stay on and see what happens, but you're not under oath anymore. You don't need to answer any more questions. State, did you want to present any more evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. We have a recorded jail visit between the defendant and Ms. Clemens, where his wife. Where, you know, I'd asked Mr. Jones whether or not he was a middleman or a front, somebody else putting up the money for him. And in that visit, precisely what Mr. Davis says is that Mr. Jones is a middleman. The money's not from him, but there's somebody from the movie putting it. All right. This visit is from June 14th, 2024.
Excuse me, man.
Hold on. You have your chance, Mr. Davis.
I'll obviously submit all
Or
these.
do the state's presentation. So are you asking to reserve to something for rebuttal? Or?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
So again, as the court asks, I will submit all these exhibits to the court. But in the file of the visitation, I'm going to start at about, for brevity sake, I'm going to start around like 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
The man named Al Bilson, and he said that they said that I lived there, But Cash ain't got no damn money, you know, just a man. It's a rest. Listen, you're gonna listen. You do it.
So that's just 2 minutes, Your Honor. I think that without belaboring it, there's more conversation along those lines. I can submit the whole 45 minutes to the court, but the essence of that, and I don't know if it came as clear, but it is Cash and Mr. Jones versus Cash. Cash doesn't have the money to get me out. Cash doesn't have the money, and these are Mr. Davis's words. The Jewish man that owns the FA movie company, he's the one putting it out. You think he, meaning Cash, got that money to put up for me? He don't, Paula. He don't got that money. They just using him as a front. He was on to say a couple of discouraging things about Mr. Jones after that, but not particularly relevant to this proceeding. That's the state's presentation.
So is there anything else you wanted to address at this time? I think your client just wants to speak to you.
Yes, Your Honor. I just have some questions to Mr. Jones that I'd like to clarify that conversation, but if I can't speak to it.
Mr. Davis?
First to Mr. Davis and then I'll
Okay,
ask the
all right,
question.
I'll call a couple matters and let you talk to Mr. Davis, then we'll recall it as soon as you get those answers. All right, who wants to be called any quick matters?
Because we're in it, great.
Well, I think Mr. Weinstock beat you to it, but,
He's got a bigger smile. He can go
I'm quick.
I've never seen something like this.
Mr. Winters, this is on for, trial setting. We have Ms. Worship from the state, you guys discussed trial.
Not necessarily, if you want to ask for whatever convenience for state is, or for the court.
You don't really have to, on the homicide, but there is an ordinary course as soon as I have.
Clubhouse TV. Clubhouse TV.
So as y'all heard, Wack 100 was at the bail hearing for Keefe D, and the judge wanted all the smoke. He wanted all the answers. He wanted to know everything about Wack 100 relationship with Keefe D, if there was indeed a deal in place or contract that was signed between Keefe D and Wack. Was there any business going to take place during this trial? Was there a contract signed or in place about business or a TV show that was going to happen that Wack produced? So Wack said no, that it will probably be business in the future after the trial. Also, after that, the judge heard a phone call between Keefe D and Wack and came to find out that Wack is just the middleman for the real guy who's going to bail Keefe D out. I guess he's a Jewish guy who owns a movie company. I think he said movie company or moving company. I would assume it's a movie company since more money would be involved, you know, in a movie company versus a moving company. But anyway, as you heard, Wack got pressed, and I'm kind of anxious to see what's going to happen with this. Is the bail going to get denied? Is it going to get approved? Is Keefe D going to get released? Did Wack lie under oath? Did he tell the truth? Just some things that people are saying. Just want to know what you guys think on this. I'm pretty sure Wack will be giving his reply regarding this issue in a few. You already know Clubhouse TV is going to be the first with the content, so make sure you stand by and keep your notification bells on. We're going to be uploading this content as soon as it happens on Clubhouse, because you already know that's the first place Wack is going to go on Clubhouse to let everybody know what happened and what didn't happen. So appreciate y'all checking out Clubhouse TV. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and comment. Please comment. I do reply in the comments.